Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pages Speak. Woo! Today is a show for you. We are going to be talking about blended families and the complexities. I'm telling you, that's some stuff that we need to talk about. So we just want to jump right into it. We are so excited to have with us tonight just two dynamic couples we love so much. We have Makeba and Dwayne Bradford and Ray and Nakia Shipman. Woo! Hello, y'all.
Hey,
What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, we love you guys so much. And the Shipmans are out of town and they love us enough to come on anyway. That just, that's that love. Love y'all. Okay, blended families. Oh my gosh, this is something that actually a lot of families are blended.
yeah.
A lot of us are blended, and we have different issues and different things we're talking about. But before I do that, let me pause. Let me back it up for a minute before I get jump
Back it
in,
on up.
because you
Back
know me,
that
I'll
thing
jump
up.
in. I'll just jump in. I'll just
Back
jump
it
in
up.
and back it up. Anyway, before I jump
going.
in, let's just let me give a chance for you guys to introduce yourselves.
Yeah.
All right, so. First, let's have the Shipmans introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what you're doing really quickly, and let's do that quick elevator speech. Woo!
All right. I'm Pastor, Prophet, Coach Nakia Shipman. I am the Body Life Pastor of Walk in the Spirit. I coach life, relationship, all that good stuff, career. And I am an author. I'm finishing a book called Healing Realistically. And that's what I do. And I'm married to this guy.
Woo!
Yes.
Hey, this guy, come on, elevator speech, quick, come on, let's go.
I am Prophet Ray. I am an author, the apostolic overseer of Walk in the Spirit Ministries, and the senior pastor, E5 Empowering Prophets, Heralding Our Destiny. I also do a show on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock called The Gathering. We travel, we preach, we prophesy, author, write, sing, tap dance, whatever we need. We do deliverance and association.
Tap dance. Come
No
on
tap
now.
dancing.
That's now we got apostolic tap dancing.
Yes.
Come on now. Yeah. Apostolic tap. Come
All
on.
right, Dwayne and Makeba Bradford. Let's get those elevator speeches. Tell us about yourself, what you're doing, where you're at, what you do. Come on, let's do it. Woo woo.
Woo woo. Okay, I'm Pastor Makeba Bradford. I'm partnered with Empower Kingdom Life Ministries. I work in the medical field. God is using my gift to help individuals with disabilities. I have my own business, which is a women empowerment group where I try to encourage them, and that's pretty much I do a lot of things, but yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Amen.
Praise the Lord. My name is Dwayne. one of the pastors at Empowered Kingdom Life Ministries, where we
Yeah.
believe in truth over tradition. And
Come on
also,
now.
I'm a kingdom citizen. I'm a faith builder. I'm a revivalist. I'm just somebody that God can rely on. Amen. That's all. I ain't got a whole lot of that.
Amen. You said plenty, brother. You said a whole lot. All right. So tonight on the Page of Speak, we're talking about blended families and the complexities. And when you have families, and then you have different people that come together. You have one household, their way of doing things, and you bring it together with another household and their way of doing things, and you mesh it all together. And sometimes, it's a little hard to fit all that stuff together in the way that you want it to fit. And sometimes, people get a little crushed up in the mix, and feelings get hurt, and toes get stepped on,
Come on now.
and it's all kinds of stuff to be going on. So, just want to talk about it a little bit. What are some of the issues you have had to face having a blended family? Anybody want to jump in? Jump in.
I can jump in first. I
Okay.
think for us, because I'm like super, I don't want to say bully, but like I bully my kids normally, right? So with a lot of the things that I expected from my children, once we got married and we're in the same house, cohabitating and all that other stuff, it was like our oldest son, he was like set in his own way. So he would not clean up or throw his stuff wherever. And for me, I'm like, I'm gonna lose my mind. because this don't work. So the other kids know whether I'm at this house or not at this house, it needs to be done. So we had to find the balance in that though, because stuff bothers me that doesn't necessarily bother them, especially because they were guys. They were two men who didn't necessarily have to clean up and pick up, because we okay with this shirt being in the kitchen that go in our bedroom.
Sis. Woo.
I thought you
Okay.
could make it
Okay.
seem
Let
like
me
we
calm
were
down. Let me
nasty.
calm down.
No, see, I
We
didn't
wasn't
say.
just
I
nasty.
said a shirt in the
We
kitchen. I didn't
just
say.
so even to this day, I have a problem when we travel and do ministry. I don't care where it is or what it is. I don't know what spirit this is, but
It's a spirit.
I take off my clothes right at the edge of the bed.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. It can be a basket right next to it. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna put them
Right.
on the edge of the bed. My socks, my pants, my shirt goes right where you climb into bed. It goes right there. And
My favorite part is the hotel, though, guys, because literally at the hotel, he'd be so upset. Like, where did all this stuff come from? It's yours.
I just I don't know what it is.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but everything is laying right there. So FYI to the Saints that's gonna start inboxing. We're not nasty. It was just I like my clothes to be close to me.
And they're just figuring out how to make it work. So, like, because it's a thing for me, I just wash the clothes. I'll just get them up. I'll put them away because it's my thing. You know what I'm saying? They're not bothered by it. So it doesn't bother me to move the stuff because it's my issue. My issue is I don't want the clothes right there. My issue is I don't want clothes in my kitchen. Those are my issues. So I just get the stuff up. That alleviated argument, it alleviated headache and drama.
So we've had to try and figure
Mm.
out how to, and then some people may be thinking that it's just clothes, but the truth is we had to merge ideas, thought processes, how we operate. I have enough clothes to do laundry maybe once every 4 or 5 months, and so that's kind of the way I lived. I didn't have to, so they would just start piling up, and then when I start to see one of my drawers of underwear start to get low, I would just go to the second, or the third, or the fourth drawer. So I would just keep going.
Okay.
That also means that all of those clothes that have been worn that I don't mind, well, they're all over the place. And so that may be a trigger. That's probably a trigger for her. But as simple as that is, it really is the merging of identities, thoughts, how you operate, all of that stuff. And that's really not an easy feat.
Exactly. It's not an easy feat. And then with kids, it was something that Nakia said, you know, you may have one way that you run your household. And but the household that they're coming from may be totally different than the way you run your household. So now they have to get used to you. And do you find yourself being harder on your natural kids than you are on your bonus kids because you know better? So I may let this slide, but I know I taught you, so we ain't even gonna play that. You need to handle this. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been taught better because I taught you the way that I wanted you to do things. And so now that you're blending families and they did something different, you find yourself, okay, I got to be quiet, or I got to hold back, even though, it's like fingernails on the chalkboard because it's like this working my nerves. But, it's two totally different environments. What about you guys, Makeba? How's that work with you guys?
Let me go first. Okay, for me, that wasn't really an issue because that wasn't really an issue. My issue was the backgrounds, the learned behavior. We was coming from two different. See, I'm a product of a blended family, so and we get along. You know what I'm saying? It was actually a good. It was. I had to come in with the expectation to see in the eyes of my husband and his family and his daughter, and the way I think, the way I view things, and the way he sees, the way he view things. So I believe that if something is working, and because I'm a product of a stepfather and a stepmother, and we all get along, I believe I can bring some of them characteristics into our marriage. You know what I'm saying? But it was very sensitive because nobody gets along. So that was difficult. You know what I'm saying?
And when she say nobody gets along, like you gotta elucidate that. You can't just throw the like.
Okay, I don't want to. Okay,
break that down.
All right. Well, when we got together, when we first got together, everything was okay. You know, the kids was at the same age. I think they were like around 7 or 8, and everything was, you know, they was already mad that we were getting married. And so, can you hear? I'm speaking now.
We can't hear.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and okay, wait a minute. So I may do something that I feel I'm doing is right, like education, school, attending, you know, school, whatever I did, it was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But nobody else is involved. So I believe in doing things a certain way. So what I had to start doing is looking at who I was dealing with, wondering why this is happening, why this has continued to happen like this. And so I wouldn't take things so personally because, you know, it felt like I was under attack. And so for me, it was difficult. I wasn't used to it. It was very difficult for me.
And what I would add to that is, see, she seen blended family. She grew up with it, so she could you know navigate through it and have her way and think she knows exactly what's gonna work because it happened for her and it worked for her. But me, you know, I didn't have a 2-parent home marriage, and you know what I'm saying, and step brothers, and I didn't have that. So she had a one up on me. But at the same time, I had an understanding on what I thought discipline was and what I thought two families coming together was. It wasn't, you know, we actually, and we just I'm gonna be frank, you know, we actually went through some tough times early on with the blending of the two families because of how each side was. Like she is, you know, she from a good part of the neighborhood or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And my side, you know, we gutter, you know, we from
Right.
we from them parts. So some stuff some stuff she just couldn't jive with. And my understanding on how I grew up, I thought that it was the discipline was kind of rough, you know. So I'm like, it's not gonna be like that. I don't care what, you know, and how she disciplined, you know, I used to put my 2 cents in. Like you can't do it like that. Don't do it because that's how, you know, it's sort of like how I had it. And I'm like, we ain't doing that in this house. We ain't going down that road like y'all, like I went down. You know?
Because it's a
hold on, babe. And it caused the friction between us because she has an idea what she think discipline is, and I have an idea what I thought discipline was. And it was kind of rough in the beginning, but we had this understanding about we just, you know what I'm saying, however it happened, we gonna make it work. Period, point blank. I don't care what's going on. We ain't getting a divorce. We gonna make it happen. Because it was real rough in the beginning.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, you have to make a decision that no matter what, we gonna work through it. It may not be easy. It may be rough. And with our situation, I have been married. I'll let everybody know. I've been married a couple of times. Okay. Okay. A couple of times. This is my 3rd husband. You know,
right.
this number
3rd
3.
is a charm, baby.
The third was gonna work. The 3rd was gonna work. Anyways, this is my 3rd husband. So with the first one, you know, I was real young. I was like 21. You know, the first time I got married, and it's all idealistic. The second one, he was just really, really hard. You know, he was tough. You know, very uber religious, uber strict. You know, and even when he whooped my oldest 2 boys, I would almost lose it because he was so much harder than I was. And so then when we had divorced and it was just me, you know, I tended to like soften things out, but we still had an understanding. And then it was just us for like 8 years. So that when I met Joe and brought Joe in, I didn't really date. I wasn't bringing nobody into the house. It was just me and my kids until I met Joe. And at that time, they were about to be 18. But then when we brought in Joe, they wasn't feeling it. At least my youngest son was not feeling it. He was not having it. He didn't like him. He was like, this is my mama. You know, it's like, you know, he just had certain ways. And so him and Joe, they really, really bucked heads. And it was rough for me because, you know, I cannot choose my child over my spouse. You know, that's a no. I cannot choose my child over my spouse. And in the same instance, you know, I understand where my son is coming from because I know my son. You know, I know my child even better. So I know what he's feeling. I know what he's going through. But, and I know he's having some growing pains and some adjustments, but the way he's behaving towards my husband is not acceptable. And so it got to the point where it's like, Joe was like,
I had to thug it out. I wasn't buying. It was just flat out. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm not coming in to try to take over like that.
mm-hmm.
I'm more easygoing. I'm like, if you're doing cool, I'm cool with you. But if you get a little bit too far to the left, it's about to go down. And it was like, sometimes he tried to square off on me. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, hold up. Hold on, let me pull over the car right quick so we can get this out the way right now. Because if you hit me, now I got to go ahead and y'all got to pray for me later and put all kinds of holy oil and all that, cast out devils, because I done lost it and became a Tasmanian. I love him. I got love for him. You know what I'm saying? And I tried to build that relationship. He was the only one that was giving me grief. He was the only one. And I understood, because I was a part of, my mother married somebody who wasn't my father. And he came in and we had some issues and different things of that nature. So I understood that. So I wasn't going to come in because of my experience where my mother married somebody. I wasn't going to come in trying to just run over the kids and, try to take over and just be like that. But I also wasn't going for the okie doke. That's me.
Amen. Go ahead.
Y'all pray for me. Amen.
Right. No, but I completely understand that. I think I am more from, I think it's Makeba, right?
Yes.
From the Makeba side, as it pertains to just kind of growing up different, even though I did grow up in the hood. And from the other side, both of my parents, which are still together today, I had both of them. So my thinking as it pertains to when we got married and her kids were 16, 17, 16, 17, from the very beginning, I said, I'm not trying to parent them. I'm not trying to parent them. And the reasoning is because their father was in their life. Now, I can be a mentor, I can give advice, so on and so forth. What they won't do is disrespect my house. But these are your children, and I am not going to jump in and rescue nobody, save nobody, or do nothing unless you need me to. Because I had to set the boundary early. Because if not, I would have went as Pastor Bradford did and been like, "No, you going too soft on him. You need to put them in. This one ain't working. He calling an order in mine. Can you order my Coney Island the way you do it?" Like stuff like that just drives me nuts. No, it's true. So
Okay.
She said, okay.
I'm going after you.
Hold on. Because we don't walk down the street, okay? Now, what I originally was going to say is because I did have a blended family, like all the way around. My dad married two different women. My mom and my stepdad are still together present day. No, that was a chair. Are still together present day. So I got it from a lot of different variations, right? So even like as it pertains to his children, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't necessarily so pushy in the beginning, that I respected their boundaries that they needed from their dad, separate from, even me inserting myself into relationship, just because I understood what I went through as a girl. And sometimes, like I had one stepmom who was an amazing stepmom, and I had another stepmom who felt like, because there was an issue with my mom, then, I couldn't really necessarily be with my dad. So because of all of that stuff, I tried to be a lot more sensitive and understanding. Because I am an emotional person, though, I was more, I guess, ingrained into like everything that was happening, like even with the oldest, because while he's talking about me ordering Coney Island, I mean, it was okay to take care of our oldest baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, so even though you're not ordering his food, we still help and take care of bills and priorities, stuff that he should be responsible for. And so that was an adjustment. Just because he ordered food, he ordered the food with your money, though. So either way, what I'm saying is it was the patterns that we had established. So I've always done that for him. So that was the expectation that my son had was my mom, I eat like her, so she knows what I want. So can you call her order some Coney Island? Why? Because that's what we always, be it. You know what I'm saying? As independent, like single, like when I separated from their dad, we would all get Coney Island, we would all get the grilled chicken pita or a grilled chicken salad made the same exact way. So they know that if they want it right, they're gonna call mama and say, Mama, can you place our order? And it's gonna be right. Now they're paying with their own money though. They're going to pay with their own money though, because I don't play. You're going to have the ability to take care of yourself. It won't always be at my dime. Okay. I'm not going to pay all your bills. Now I do pay their cell phone bills. That was my agreement, but they have money. They know you want it, you go get it. Down to my 16-year-old daughter. You want a Louis Vuitton bag. If your daddy not buying it, you need to be saving money to go get it. So there are small things that because I just have done for them that I do, but I expect that they're going to be responsible. I expect that if I leave this earth today, they will survive because I'm giving them the tools to do so. Now, because that was not the pattern always set for as it pertains to my bonus children, I don't ride them as hard, right? Because I understand that I wasn't here for this whole journey with you. What I do try to add is the value that I would give to my kids, though. So I'm not going to neglect that. So I have conversations, even the difficult conversations. The expectation is slightly different because I didn't walk this full journey out with you. So I don't expect that tomorrow you're going to arrive here or that you're going to meet this expectation. But I do give them that same wisdom and knowledge. Why? Because if I'm in your life, I want to give you what I'm going to give to them. I don't want you to ever feel like you are less than or not as important to me. But I also want you to understand that I wasn't here for this entire journey. So we'll walk it out together. Whatever I can do to help you get to where you need to be, that's what I want to do.
But here's the major thing when it comes to any of them. We are partners and we are a team. Now, they may hear us argue, but they won't hear us argue about them.
Period.
That does not happen. So when it comes to making decisions regarding them, about them, their ideas, their thoughts, what we think they should do, their discipline, their promotion, any of that stuff, we are a team. So I was upset for Mother's Day that they did not like come up with a plan already for her. And so my frustration, I was able to have that conversation with her. I also had it with a couple of them, but we are the team. So if one of them decided he wanted to nut up and say something to me, then she's going to jump in there. That's not what we're going to do. Even if I'm wrong, I could be 100% wrong. She going to be able to deal with me later. But right now, we are a team. Yeah. This is our house. And if you want to talk to somebody like that, get your own house. And you can talk to whoever you want to like that in your house.
Mm-hmm.
In your house.
Hallelujah.
Get your own house.
Today.
Okay. The Bradfords. I know Makeba, you was itching over there. Come on, baby.
Yes. Okay, I was used to you go in the refrigerator, you get what you want, you ain't have to ask or whatever. So he came he came from a family where you had the snacks.
No, stop boosting.
Okay.
I ain't had nothing.
I know about that, right?
In there, don't touch it without asking.
Don't touch it without asking. When I grew up, Okay, but listen, I gotta get this out. Okay, I'm sorry, but so I'm like, okay, so that's one of the issues. And so if you come to somebody that's yelling, don't mix that up with me yelling, because I'm a person that communicates. I'm going to explain to you why I whooped you, why you did this. And I used to tell, and so he should say I used to pile up, and I didn't get a belt, or it was just like I have boys, so I'm not about to bam, I'm gonna knock you out. This is how I was. And because, like he said before, he came from the type of environment, he didn't understand what I was doing, because I said I talk to them, I have a relationship with them. I can whoop my child, put him on a punishment, and turn around like, why are you in the bed? You should be mad with me. That's the type of relationship that we had. So, and I'm going to move up a little further. So what I tried to do is, because I'm thinking I'm a people person. I deal with the difficult people. I'm going to come in, I'm going to help. I'm going to bring something to the table. I feel like this when you're a child, kids don't think. So when you were saying about Mother's Day gift, I would show them, let's go get this, let's do this. I would lead by an example to show them how to be. So as we move forward, I was doing that, and every time I tried to show my daughter, show her how to be a lady, show her how to do this, we had outside forces tearing it down. We had outside, like when she came to us, they switched schools. Her grades was, everything was all out of whack. When she came with us, she got out on the honor roll. And it seemed like the more good was doing, it was like we was like evil was present. I'm like, dang, am I under attack? I could not. And you know how you say love. You know, all type of activities, planning trips, you know, family things, bonding, trying to give her something that's missing. But the more that I did that, the more I was under attack. I was lied on to the point where I'm like,
yeah, and that can be rough because this is another thing I find that when you have blended families, you know, if you have blended families, I mean, there's another baby mama and baby daddy.
Oh.
There are other there are other entities that are going to be involved. Like I said, baby mama, baby daddy, and so baby mama, baby daddy got something to say with the babies, with the kids. And it's almost like baby mama, baby daddy, through the kids, are actually bringing influence into your home, which can also be an issue. So, you know, there have been times when, you know, you would tell them something, and then, you know, 1 minute baby mama saying one thing, and then the next minute baby mama saying something else, and now it's all kinds of confusion, you know, with the kids coming into the house, and it's just, you know, you're like, okay, you need to do things at your house your way, but over here we do things our way. But the kids are going back and forth.
Telling you what's going on in your house.
Telling what's going on in your house to that baby mama. And then baby mama got something to say about what's happening in your house. And you're like, baby mama, you ain't got nothing to say about what's happening in my house. Baby daddy ain't got nothing to say about what's happening in my house. What's happening at your house with the kids, happening at your house with the kids. Right. Now, don't be crazy, you know, but you definitely ain't got nothing to say over here. Now, the thing is, no, we were sort of blessed because, like I said, my ex-husbands, that they never tried. I'm the kind of person when I leave. It ain't no animosity. I'm still cool with you. I just ain't trying to be bothered with you that way, but we still cool. You know, I ain't got no problems. I'll come to the barbecue. You come to my barbecue. I ain't tripping. But you know, Joe ain't that kind of person. He like, I don't want them in my barbecue, and it's like, okay, but it's the kids. You know, it's the kids' parents, whatever. So, you know, we're trying to make it all family, but not everybody feels that way.
But when you're dealing with baby daddies that have regret and they just see, you know, they baby mama, and they just all up on the baby mama like you ain't even there. You know what I'm saying?
Most of the
barbecue is about to be over real quick.
Right.
Because it's going to be some barbecuing out there, but it ain't going to be no
It
real.
wasn't even like that. It ain't like
no, that's not most often. That's not about the kids at all. That's
on now.
This Negro and his baby mama happy without him. That's what it's about.
And you know what?
Come on, Prop.
If she would have caught on to that, early on, a lot of stuff wouldn't have been the way it was. It wasn't the fact that she was doing all this for my daughter. It was the fact that the mama wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wasn't doing all of that. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was the problem. That was the main problem. So, and now, you know, this is a public thing and everybody sees. So I don't want to get off into it because it's people just crazy. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the other thing. Here's the other thing too, though, because I've had that problem with her ex-husband, but I understand no matter how upset you're gonna be, we going home.
Right, don't bring it in the house.
You can try to floss, you can try and flirt, you can do
much as you want.
Stuff. God bless. You can buy her a Louis. She's taking it back to my house.
Okay.
You can buy her whatever you want to. I'm fine with it because she's gonna put her stuff in the bag and we're gonna go home and you're gonna be wherever you at, thinking that you impressing her. And I'm glad that you bought it for her.
Because now you don't have to. But the thing is, and see, and I'm sort of like that same way. Because, you know, baby we ain't gonna go with the issues with the baby mama. But see, I don't really care because it's like, again, I'm not threatened. I know who I am, and you are such a non-factor, you know. And it's really sort of cute that you're going through all them changes, trying to do what you're trying to do, but it really don't matter. So it's like, do what you do, honey, and go ahead. But bless his heart, he gets irritated with it. Nigga, step up off you. You know, it's like whatever. But
he's too big to get irritated. He's too big to get irritated.
He gets irritated. And the thing is, when
like,
he get irritated, and just like you said, when he get irritated, his face change. Everybody like, whoa, because he's like 6'8". Nah, mean face on a 6'8". Nah, that ain't even cute. It's like rough. But I want to ask this question. We only got a few more minutes. I was going to ask a couple of questions. So, one question: have you ever bought your ex a gift from your children? And if you did, how did your spouse feel? Like a mother, you were saying how you were upset because the kid didn't get him a Mother's Day gift. How would you have felt if her ex had bought the Mother's Day gift? Or or how would you all feel with that kind of scenario?
You know how we feel.
I would, we wouldn't care. I mean,
thank you.
Appreciate it. What else you get?
Okay. Bring it on, huh?
Is this it?
That wouldn't be an issue.
I can't hear you. What'd you say? Bradford, I can't hear y'all.
That wouldn't be an issue, but the thing about it, see, Makeba's ex-husband, like every Christmas, we all come together and open up gifts together. Like he'd come to the house, and he'd bring the gifts, and we'd just all open up the stuff together. And that's just what we did.
Or even like the games, like my son plays sports,
You're
we
right.
all sitting together.
Yeah, but
and see, that's how I would want to be. But Joe ain't having it. It was because remember when
who
Bob
bought you a gift?
When Bob invited you to the Father's Day, he was like,
"No, I'm good."
Yeah, he was
but listen, that's not our issue.
I'm good. It's not. You know, and you know what? Y'all pray for me because it just felt different. You know what I'm saying? I felt some type of way a little bit, but I didn't really get it. You know what I'm saying? I got some growing to do, all right, in that area.
That's what I was gonna say. When it's something that happens in the beginning, normally it's just about the level of maturity because you have to graduate. Like when you violate, you know, we have to graduate to a place where we can all commune and fellowship together. If you don't violate it, but
we just had her daughter's
Sweet 16,
which was great. It was a lot of fun. And then her ex-husband came up to me, shook my hand, hugged me, and he was like, "We ain't hugged in years." I said, "Yeah, it's been several years." "All right, I'll see you later." But he ain't coming to my house for Christmas.
Come on now. I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna say,
yeah.
No, he came by and picked up some food.
Listen, that stopped. That was early on because the kids, because they were young, they had stopped. We used to do it was a thing that I did because my mother had passed, and so I'm the only child with a stepbrother. So we all come together, even my stepfather and my dad. So it was like they used to be like, both their daddies in the room. People, they got used to it. You know what I'm saying? And I come to find out a person may not even like you. I found out some things 40 years later, but it's about respect. See, you can roll with a person when they respect you. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care if you don't like me. I don't care what you say about me. It's all about respect. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say about this. I didn't have a problem with. I can care less. I used to go get him. I wasn't worried about his baby's mama, but I'm more on the violent side. I'm like, dang, I haven't fought since high school. If I got in a fight then, I'm like, I'm fighting now and arguing, getting called out my name, all kind of stuff. We fighting over here.
Like I
we
said,
fight, yeah.
She was from the other side of the tracks, and
one beat down would have helped that, but like my dad.
Come on, put some Vaseline on your face.
My hands are holy, but you can catch them, holy and all.
Holy hands
Listen,
tonight.
holy hands you will catch. No, but I agree with the respect thing because my dad, like, he had like, I mean, it was like 5, 6 different women. We all got together for Christmas. They all respected each other though. Like there was stuff that me and my sisters found out as adults, but we didn't know that stuff as kids. I mean,
We didn't
granted,
know it.
I think it's a problem. No, but presently they all get together. Like for my dad's birthday, if he have a party, his now wife, all his ex women, they all come and they respect each other. They understand I was with him. I'm not now, but we respect each other. Ain't no disrespect.
Yeah, and that's how it is. Like with my first ex-husband, I was cool with his girlfriends. His second girlfriend, I was trying to talk him into marrying her. All of his kids call me Mama Stephanie. It's not a problem, you know. It's like I get along with all of them because again, that's my past. And never know going back. And right now we can be friends. And so I treat you just like a friend. You're my kid's father, but you're my friend. And that's just where you are. And I don't have a problem with, platonic, friendships because again, I ain't crossing no lines. You a friend, I'm going home over here. This is my man. You just a friend, And I say they just a friend. And I mean, they just a friend. So
I think it's also different for us though, because our kids predominantly are grown though. Like, so my daughter is 16, but my sons are like college, so they're not they don't necessarily need to see us all together. They've had that. We did, Christmas trips we've done. Christmas brunch, whatever. So we've accommodated to make sure that they felt included and not like there was a divide between their parents. So we've done that part. So I don't think that's required anymore. So now it's just like you don't have to come. I mean, if you bringing us gifts, sure, drop them off. But it's not like we just gonna send out the invitation. But sure, we can bring us some gifts.
Right, and I think it's different for people like like us. All our kids is grown out of school. You know what I'm saying? My daughter 19, her oldest is 23. And the next oldest is 17, but he's actually
24.
No, King 24, yeah. And the next one is 17, but he graduated, and he's working and he's like doing his own thing. And I think that just so we can to help some other people out that may be watching this or may watch this later, I think it's for blended families. It's real. I think the two that came together need to have an understanding of differences. Like. We didn't really deal with the differences that we had in the beginning. Like we didn't even look at our backgrounds and where we came from. We didn't look at that, and it didn't even dawn on us until later, until after all of the problems and after all of the issues. And a lot of stuff we really could avoid it if we talked about it in the beginning. Like, this is my child, listen, my daughter, mama, she like this, she crazy, she do this. Or my ex-husband, he's like this, and this is the type of stuff you can expect when the child go to his house. You can expect some changes. We didn't discuss all of that, so we encountered things that we didn't have to. So to help some of y'all out, right? Always remember that when two people coming together, it's two different opinions. And if those two people have kids, the kids are not going to be the same. And you can't even treat the two separate families the same. Like I was a little harder on her son than I was on my daughter when my daughter was with me. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't because this is my daughter and I'm be easy. No, he was a boy. You know what I'm saying? He was a man or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I think she looked at it. Even he looked at it as if I'm being easier on my daughter. I heard that a lot. You don't make her do this, and you don't make. And what I didn't realize is that I didn't take that into consideration. All I took in consideration was like, this is my house, my rules. I don't care if you know what I'm saying. And I was dogmatic like that, and I shouldn't have been. It could have caused us not to have a lot of issues. So to help some more people out, some different people out, understand that there's a difference that needs to be discussed, and kids are not the same, especially when they have two different backgrounds and two different upbringings.
So I mean, I gotta sort of. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I do have to start wrapping it up. So a key point: you need to discuss things. Be real. Put everything on the table. A saying that we always say is "Be real with it and deal with it." If you're feeling some type of way, if you're coming from different backgrounds, just like Pastor Dwayne said, talk about it up front. Another thing, like I said, discuss things and have an understanding. Set rules. You got to set rules and guidelines that work for everybody. You can't just do that just only works for you. It has to work for everybody across the board. So communication, setting the proper boundaries is important, as well as making sure that no matter what, you don't allow anything to come between the partnership that you have with your spouse. Even kids cannot come in between. When we got married, I'm going to say this real quick. When we got married, we didn't have bridesmaids and groomsmen. Our children stood up with us and they took a vow. They took a vow. We made sure they understood that after we came together, this union right here is before everything, including them. Okay, and they had to come to that. They came to that understanding at the wedding ceremony. They took a vow. You understand? Yeah. You understand? Yeah. You understand? Yeah. Okay. Now we all understand. This right here comes before everything else, and we're now charging you to support this union. So again, but those kind of discussions need to be had. Don't just go into a situation thinking that everything's just going to fall into place. You have to work to make everything fit.
Yeah.
You have to work it out to make everything fit. So before we get off of here, because we're a little over time, any final words you want to give out to everyone or anyone just to possibly help them along with the complexities of the blended family?
I would just say everybody's relationship, marriage, children are all different. So be willing to always come to the table. Like never walk away from the table, as it pertains to your partner. Like work through things. Don't just be so closed off, because we are more sensitive to our own children normally. That's just a natural thing because, I understand them. But just always be willing to come to the table, have the difficult conversation so that you can build, so you can work through it.
Amen.
And I learned to just drop
okay. Bradford's. Any final words?
I learned to just drop my expectation and how I think things should be, and I start seeing things just fall into place. And just meet it where it's at. And I'm glad that like my kids and his daughter, they get along great. So I'm saying at the end of the day, and I always also believe that whatever you plant, whatever you instill, and whatever you teach, when they get older, they'll understand it, and you just have to wait on that process. Like she never was out for this. She's and I believe that she sees that now. I'm saying sometimes I had to wait so she could see who I was in her maturity to know who I was to her.
Amen. That's Apostle Joe.
Be ready to thug it out in a moment's notice. Boom.
I cannot with you.
I
cannot with you. I cannot with you.
Don't show no signs of weakness. They'll get you. I'm just
too much. Oh goodness. Anyway, so this has been an awesome show. I just want to say thank you to all of our wonderful guests. Oh, okay. I got to get the reminder. Don't forget to get your book if you haven't read it. Gracefully Losing My Religion. If you haven't read it, please read it. It's good stuff, y'all. I promise. It's good stuff. And contact me, and I'll give you a signed hard copy. You can only get hard copies from me. If you go to Barnes & Noble, it's only soft copies. You want a hard copy? I mean, they're good and hard. Okay. If you want a good hard copy, contact me.
She just hit the book to prove it's a hard copy.
Anyway. Wow. Contact me, and I'll be more than happy to sign it. Also, we've been a blessing. Please donate. Look at the bottom of the screen because I'm getting all the prompts on what to say. So read the screen.
.me/the pay to speak, Cash App, money sign, pay to speak. No matter how you type it in there,
you got it. You got it.
Bless them.
Until next week, we thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week, next Thursday, 9 p.m., same time.
We got to do this again.
Yes,
we got to talk about some fights and stuff that go on in blended families. How about blended families that fight? Next topic. Boom.
Oh, okay.